Chosen one. Take these words and enter the Billionaire gang. I repeat, take these words and enter the Billionaire gang. You deserve a better life. You deserve a better version. Chosen one. You are not listening to this by accident. This moment has been scheduled by heaven. The timing is precise. The stirring you feel in your spirit right now is not confusion, it is recognition. You have always known you were meant for more, yet there were seasons where you felt lost, unsure, or standing still while your soul kept whispering that you were created for abundance, influence, and elevation. You may not have known what step to take next, or what was missing, but deep down you knew this. You were not born to live small, and you were not born to stay average. Anointed one, you are standing at the edge of a supernatural shift. Scripture says in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 that the vision waits for an appointed time, and this is that time. What has been delayed is now aligning. What has been hidden is now being revealed. This is not just about money. This is about divine positioning, kingdom access, and a sudden transfer that requires a new way of thinking, moving, and choosing. Stay with this message. Listen to the very end. Because by the time this video is finished, clarity will replace confusion, direction will replace wandering, and you will know exactly what to do next. Subscribe now to stay connected to this calling. And in the comments make this declaration with faith, I know what to do. Chosen one. There is a moment in every life when heaven stops whispering and starts pressing. This is that moment. The unease you've been feeling is not confusion, it is invitation. There is a place you have been circling, a decision, you have been postponing, a conversation you keep rehearsing but never initiating. And deep in your spirit, you already know this truth. The very place you've been avoiding is the doorway to the next level of your life. The fear is not a warning to turn back. It is confirmation that you are standing at the edge of something that will change you. I learned this in a season when my body was tired, but my spirit was wide awake. I took time away from noise, away from validation, away from everyone else's expectations, and I sat alone with my thoughts. No music, no distraction, just movement, breath, and the questions that don't let you sleep at night. And as the hours passed, something happened. The mind quieted and clarity began to surface, not as a shout, but as flashes. Names I needed to call, doors I needed to close, decisions I had delayed because I was afraid of what they would require from me. That day taught me this pain is not the enemy. Avoidance is. Challenges are not sent to break you. They are sent to shape you into someone who can carry more. Chosen one. Most people never enter that place. They stay busy so they never have to listen. They stay distracted so they never have to decide. They call it comfort, but it is really containment. The reason is simple: expansion creates responsibility. When you grow, you have something to protect. When you rise, you have something to steward. And that level of accountability scares people more than staying small ever could. They would rather remain familiar than become powerful. But you were not created to live beneath your potential. You were created to confront it. Here is the truth the Billionaire Circle understands. Intuitively, complexity is a hiding place for fear. It feels productive, but it is actually avoidance dressed as intelligence. I have watched people add more offers, more strategies, more projects, more noise, thinking they are scaling when in reality they are fragmenting their focus. Heaven does not bless clutter. Growth flows through simplicity. When you remove what does not belong, power concentrates. When you strip away the unnecessary, momentum accelerates. Every addition comes with a cost. And until you learn to subtract, you will never multiply the way you are meant to. I once sat across from someone who insisted they were doing everything to grow, yet their energy was scattered across too many directions. They were running multiple paths at once, hoping one would break through. But greatness doesn't respond to chaos. It responds to devotion. When you give one assignment your full weight, it opens doors that 10 half efforts never will. This is not about working harder. It is about working truer. The chosen one does not chase everything. They commit to the one thing heaven has placed in their hands for this season. And this is where many miss the transfer. Time is not neutral. It is a currency. How you spend it reveals what you worship. I grew up watching people trade their future for the illusion of saving a little money, not realizing they were losing years they would never get back. The wealthy understand something early: money can be replaced, but time cannot. So they use resources to buy back hours, and they use those hours to become more valuable, more aligned, more prepared. If you are constantly doing what others could do for you, you are blocking your own expansion. Leverage is not laziness, it is obedience to scale. Chosen one, you are not meant to do everything yourself. That belief is not humility, it is control masquerading as responsibility. When you allow others to carry what they are capable of carrying, you free yourself to operate in the space only you can occupy. I learned that perfection is the enemy of progress. Something done 80% well by another person is often far more powerful than something done perfectly by you at the cost of your focus, your energy, and your vision. You cannot build a kingdom if you insist on holding every brick. And hear this clearly: worry is not wisdom. It is misdirected imagination. Every time you worry, you are rehearsing a future that has not been authorized. You are giving your creative power to fear instead of faith. I've sat with people who planned endlessly for what could go wrong and wondered why nothing ever went right. It is because what you focus on grows. When you expect resistance, you attract it. When you plan for victory, you align with it. Assume positive intention. Assume alignment. Assume that even delays carry instruction. This is not denial. It is spiritual posture. There were seasons when results felt slow, when effort seemed invisible. And in those moments I had to learn patience with outcomes, but urgency with action. Heaven honors consistency over hype. The greatest breakthroughs are born in long obedience, not short bursts of excitement. You cannot rush gestation. Some assignments require years of unseen faithfulness before they surface. That does not mean you are off track. It means you are being rooted. Those who can move without immediate reward are the ones who eventually receive rewards that do not fade. Chosen one, begin with the end in mind. If you do not define the life you are building, you may arrive somewhere impressive and still feel empty. I have seen people sacrifice health, relationships, and peace in the name of success, only to discover they climbed the wrong ladder. True elevation feels aligned. It feels integrated. It feels whole. You are allowed to want more and still be grateful. Desire is not greed when it is guided by purpose. Gratitude anchors you. Dissatisfaction propels you. Both are necessary. And let me say this gently but firmly: invest in your becoming before you invest in your appearance. Skills compound. Image depreciates. When I chose to pour resources into learning, mentorship, and growth before comfort, everything changed. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not luck. It is learning. If you already knew what you needed to know, you would already be living what you desire. Growth is not punishment. It is preparation. Chosen one, do not rush decisions that shape your destiny. Speed feels powerful, but wisdom moves deliberately. Take action to test, but give decisions room to breathe. Ask what must be true for this to be right. Let clarity settle before commitment. The most successful people act quickly on information, but decide slowly on direction. There is a difference. As you sit with these words, feel what is stirring. Something is aligning, something is being stripped away, something is being clarified. This is not random. Heaven is reorganizing your inner world so your outer world can finally respond. Stay present, stay honest, stay willing to enter the place you once avoided, because that is where the transfer begins. Chosen one. There is a pattern I need you to recognize, because once you see it, you will never unsee it again. The people who rise into the billionaire circle do not think in straight lines. They think in reversals. When the world says, avoid risk, they ask where the opportunity hides. When the world says, protect what you have, they ask how to expand what is possible. This is not recklessness. It is vision trained by experience and anchored in trust. One of the greatest shifts that ever happened in my life came when I learned to invert my questions. I stopped asking, how do I succeed, and started asking, what guarantees failure? And the answers came fast. Comfort without growth, loyalty to environments that no longer fit, avoiding difficult conversations, postponing decisions that demanded courage. When I saw those patterns clearly, the path forward became obvious. Simply do the opposite. This is not mystical. It is practical wisdom dressed in humility. Heaven often reveals direction by showing you what not to become. Anointed one. This is where many get stuck because they confuse caution with wisdom. They believe playing not to lose is safer than playing to win. But safety is an illusion when it costs you your assignment. I have watched people shrink their dreams to match their fear, not realizing they were slowly training themselves to live beneath their calling. Expansion requires faith. It requires the willingness to be misunderstood. The abundance mindset is not about arrogance, it is about responsibility. It says, if more is possible, then I must grow to carry it well. Let me ground this in something real. I've seen people uproot their entire lives to save money only to lose time, peace, and momentum in the process. They focused so much on what they could avoid losing that they never asked what they could gain by staying aligned. Wealth is not built by contraction, it is built by value creation. When you shift your energy from defense to offense, everything changes. You stop asking how to protect yourself and start asking how to serve at a higher level, and service, when done correctly, always returns multiplied. Chosen one, stop asking how too early. That question, when asked prematurely, shrinks destiny. The mind wants logistics, the spirit wants permission. When you fixate on how before the vision is fully formed, you unconsciously reduce the size of the dream to something manageable. But heaven never assigns manageable dreams. It assigns becoming. Focus first on what you are being called to build and why it matters. When the what and the why are clear, the how will chase you down through conversations, books, opportunities, and unexpected doors. I cannot count how many times clarity came to me, not while planning but while moving, while showing up, while staying faithful to the next step instead of demanding the full map. The how reveals itself to those already walking. Waiting for certainty before action is often disguised fear. Action taken in faith is what sharpens discernment. You do not become confident by thinking. You become confident by surviving your own courage. And here is another truth the chosen one must accept. Problems are not obstacles, they are invitations. The wealthy are not obsessed with comfort, they are obsessed with inefficiency. They walk into rooms and instantly notice what is broken, slow, confusing, or unnecessary. Where others complain, they calculate. Where others tolerate, they redesign. This is not negativity, it is vision trained to see potential. Start paying attention to what frustrates you. Those irritations are clues. They point toward problems you were designed to solve. I remember noticing small inefficiencies in everyday life that others ignored. Little things, clunky processes, obvious gaps. At first they seemed insignificant, but over time I realized something powerful. The world rewards those who remove friction. Solve a problem for someone with resources and value flows naturally. This is why solving rich people problems accelerates wealth faster than solving survival level ones. The size of the problem you solve often determines the scale of the reward. Chosen one. There is also a spiritual law you must embody if you are to enter the billionaire gang. Do not hoard. Flow. When people receive insight, they often clutch it in fear, thinking secrecy protects value. But abundance does not respond to containment. It responds to circulation. When you become a river instead of a reservoir, life begins to trust you with more. Ideas sharpen when shared. Influence grows when value is given freely. Implementation is where commitment reveals itself, not information. I learned early that generosity of insight creates authority. When you help others move forward without immediately demanding something in return, reputation builds quietly but powerfully. This does not mean giving everything to everyone. It means operating from overflow rather than scarcity. Teach what you know. Share what you've learned. Let your wisdom speak before your credentials do. The more value you release, the more opportunity returns, often from places you did not expect. Now hear this, closely anointed one. Passion is not optional at this level. It is fuel. You cannot fake obsession. You cannot outsource hunger. The people who build enduring wealth are not chasing money, they are chasing mastery. They lose track of time because they love the problem they are solving. They would do the work even if no one was watching. That is why they outlast others. Passion carries you through seasons when motivation fades. Ask yourself honestly, what do you do when you procrastinate? What captures your attention effortlessly? What do you research for free? Those answers are not random. They are signals. Somewhere inside that curiosity is a path to provision. Do not dismiss it because it doesn't look impressive yet. Many of the most lucrative industries began as overlooked interests. The question is not whether your passion can be monetized. The question is whether you are willing to commit to it long enough to become excellent. Chosen one. Excellence attracts provision, not hype, not shortcuts, not pretending. When you align your work with what energizes you, effort stops feeling like sacrifice. It becomes expression. And expression, when refined, becomes impact. I have lived seasons where work looked like play to outsiders, not because it was easy, but because it was aligned. When alignment happens, endurance multiplies. And endurance is what separates momentary success from lasting wealth. Do not disqualify yourself because you do not yet believe fully. Faith often follows obedience. You step, then belief catches up. The fact that you are still listening means something in you recognizes truth before your mind fully agrees. That is okay. Growth is not instant. It is layered. Let this message settle. Let it challenge your habits, your assumptions, your excuses. You are not behind. You are being calibrated. Heaven is not rushing you, but it is inviting you forward. Pay attention to what is being highlighted in your spirit. What feels heavy, what feels urgent, what feels unfinished. Those are not burdens. They are signals. Something is being unlocked. Something is being rearranged. Stay open, stay willing, stay moving. Because when alignment meets action, the shift you've been sensing begins to manifest in very real ways. Chosen one. There is a quiet truth that separates those who merely accumulate from those who are entrusted with influence. Decision-making is a spiritual discipline. Every level you rise to will demand a new relationship with choice. At lower levels, decisions are reversible. At higher levels, decisions create momentum that cannot easily be undone. This is why heaven trains you slowly. It is not delay, it is conditioning. I learned this lesson the hard way through decisions made too quickly and consequences that took much longer to repair. There were moments when an opportunity looked perfect on the surface, fast returns, exciting language, the promise of acceleration. And because I wanted movement more than clarity, I said yes before I listened deeply. What followed was not punishment, but instruction. I learned that speed without discernment is just motion, not progress. Heaven does not rush what it intends to sustain. Chosen one. You must understand this clarity is expensive and it is worth paying for. The wealthy do not rush major decisions because they know the cost of reversal. They slow the process, ask better questions, and allow space for truth to surface. They test ideas without marrying them. They act quickly to gather information, but they decide slowly to protect alignment. This is not hesitation, it is maturity. When faced with a decision that could alter your direction, ask yourself what must be true for this to be right. Not what feels exciting, not what looks impressive, but what aligns with the end you are building toward. Sleep on it. Let your nervous system settle. Often wisdom speaks once urgency leaves the room. If something is meant for you, it will still be there tomorrow. Pressure is rarely divine. There is also a pattern heaven uses to sharpen your discernment. It allows you to see what you do not want before revealing what you do. This is why inversion is such a powerful tool. When you ask, what would guarantee failure, you strip illusion away. Laziness, avoidance, staying in environments that drain you, ignoring your health, refusing to learn. When you remove those patterns, the path forward becomes clearer without needing mystical signs. Obedience often looks practical before it looks spiritual. Chosen one, do not underestimate the power of choosing to play to win. Many people organize their entire lives around minimizing loss. They call it wisdom, but it is fear in disguise. They choose safe roles, safe conversations, safe dreams. And over time, safety becomes stagnation. Those who build extraordinary lives orient themselves around possibility. They ask, what could go right if I show up fully? They focus on expansion, not avoidance. An abundance mindset does not deny reality. It refuses to be ruled by it. It acknowledges risk without worshipping it. Scarcity asks, what if I lose? Abundance asks, what if I grow? The question you ask determines the future you rehearse, and the future you rehearse shapes the actions you take today. This is why mindset is not motivational language, it is strategic alignment. Let me speak to you personally here. There were seasons when I felt torn between preserving what I had and pursuing what I knew I was called to build. Preservation felt responsible, expansion felt risky. But every time I chose comfort over calling something inside me dimmed. And every time I chose growth, even when it was uncomfortable, energy returned. Peace followed action, not before, after. Chosen. One, dreams do not shrink because they are unrealistic. They shrink because we ask the wrong questions too early. When you obsess over the how, you unconsciously limit the what. You reduce vision to what you can currently imagine. But heaven's assignments require becoming someone new, not just doing something different. Ask first who you must become. Skills can be learned. Systems can be built. Identity must be expanded. I cannot tell you how many breakthroughs came not from planning, but from permission. Permission to think bigger. Permission to want more. permission to believe that my life could be both meaningful and abundant. Many people feel guilty for desiring more because they confuse gratitude with stagnation. But gratitude grounds you. Desire propels you. You are allowed to be thankful and still hungry. Heaven is not offended by your growth. It is invested in it. Chosen. 1. Problems are not interruptions to your path. They are markers along it. The reason certain issues irritate you more than others is because you are wired to solve them. Pay attention to patterns of frustration. What feels inefficient? What feels outdated? What feels unnecessarily difficult? Those questions are clues pointing toward value creation. The world compensates those who reduce friction and increase clarity. I remember noticing small inefficiencies that others ignored, processes that took too long, systems that confused people. At first I dismissed them as minor annoyances, but over time I realized those annoyances were invitations. When you learn to see the world through the lens of improvement, opportunity becomes constant. Entrepreneurs are not lucky, they are observant. And here is another truth you must internalize: the size of the problem you solve determines the scale of the reward. When you solve problems for people with resources, value flows more easily. This is not elitism, it is economics. Many stay stuck solving survival-level problems because they are familiar. But heaven may be calling you to think higher, serve smarter, and position yourself differently. Do not be afraid to shift who you are helping if alignment requires it. Chosen 1. Generosity is not weakness, it is strategy. When you share insight freely, you build trust. When you help others move forward without immediate expectation, reputation grows quietly. This is why being a river matters. Hoarded ideas stagnate. Shared wisdom multiplies. Influence expands when value circulates. You are not losing by giving. You are signaling readiness for more. I learned that information alone does not create authority, transformation does. When people see that your words produce results, they listen differently. Teach what you know, share what you've learned. Let your lived experience speak louder than theory. Authority follows consistency, not secrecy. And now, Anointed One, we arrive at something essential: passion, not excitement, not hype. Passion, the kind that sustains effort when no one is watching. The people who build lasting wealth are not chasing applause. They are obsessed with the problem they are solving. They think about it when they wake up. They research it for fun. They lose track of time working on it. That obsession becomes their unfair advantage. Ask yourself, what draws you naturally? What do you return to when your mind wanders? What feels like play but produces value? Those signals are not accidents. They are design. Do not dismiss them because they seem ordinary. Mastery turns the ordinary into the extraordinary over time. Most quit before they reach that stage. You do not have to. Chosen One, belief often lags behind obedience. You do not need full confidence to move forward. You need willingness. Take the next step. Learn the next skill. Make the next call. Alignment reveals itself through motion. The fact that you are still here listening, considering, feeling stirred, that matters. Something in you recognizes truth even before your logic agrees. You are not late. You are being refined. Heaven is adjusting your posture, sharpening your focus, and preparing your capacity. Stay honest with yourself. Stay responsive to what is being highlighted. Stay courageous enough to choose growth over comfort. The path ahead is not about perfection. It is about alignment. And alignment, once established, begins to open doors that effort alone never could. Chosen One. There comes a stage in the journey where effort alone no longer produces movement. You can be disciplined, intelligent, consistent, and still feel like you are pressing against an invisible ceiling. This is not because you lack ability, it is because capacity must be expanded before increase can be sustained. Heaven will not pour new wine into old wineskins. Before the wealth shifts, before the doors open, before the influence multiplies, something inside you must stretch. This stretching rarely feels glorious. It feels like tension. It feels like delay. It feels like being asked to let go of methods that once worked but no longer serve the season ahead. I remember realizing that what brought me here could not take me further. The habits, the structures, even the identity that once felt like progress had become constraints. And the hardest part was admitting it. Growth demands honesty. Not public honesty, private honesty, the kind that confronts your attachment to familiarity. Chosen one. The wealthy understand leverage at a soul level. They know that multiplication does not come from adding more effort, but from aligning effort with structure. This is why they protect time fiercely. Time is not something you manage, it is something you steward. Every hour you spend doing what someone else could do is an hour stolen from what only you can do. This is not about arrogance, it is about responsibility. You were not designed to be everywhere, you were designed to be effective. I watched this lesson unfold in my own life when exhaustion became my constant companion. I was busy, productive, admired, but drained. And it took humility to realize that my insistence on doing everything myself was not noble. It was limiting. Delegation felt risky at first. It required trust. It required releasing control. But what I discovered was this: when you empower others to carry what they are capable of carrying, you step fully into your assignment. Leadership is not control. It is alignment. Chosen. One perfection is often a disguise for fear. Fear of being disappointed. Fear of being exposed. Fear of being replaceable. But growth does not require perfection. It requires progress. Something done 80% well by another person frees you to focus on the 10% that truly matters: the vision, the direction, the refinement that only you can provide. This is how scale happens, not by doing more but by doing what matters most. And hear this clearly: worry is not caution. It is misplaced devotion. Every time you worry, you are giving mental energy to a future that has not been authorized. You are rehearsing loss instead of preparing for expansion. I have sat with people who were brilliant yet paralyzed by worst-case scenarios. They planned for failure so thoroughly that success had no room to land. What you imagine consistently becomes the environment you operate in. Chosen. One imagination is a tool. Use it wisely. If the negative outcome is as likely as the positive one, why not prepare for the outcome that aligns with your calling? Assume positive intention. Assume alignment. Assume that even disruptions carry in